Come join me as I journal in Lamentations. Hi everybody, I am starting out in Goodnotes. That's where I have my ESV Digital Scripture Journal. You could use any app that has PDF annotation capabilities. I keep my table of contents bookmarked so that it's easy to find. I'm going to Lamentations, chapter 3, and I'm going to the page that has the verses that I want to reference. And now I am going to take a screenshot of that page so that I can save that as a photo that I will then import into Procreate so that I can do my journaling on Procreate. So here you see me finding my folder for where I keep my Bible journaling pages, and I'm going to add a canvas 11 by 8.5, and then I am going to insert a photo, and that will have the Bible journaling page that I just took the screenshot of from Goodnotes. So I am going to fit to canvas first, and then I am going to move the page, expand it a little bit so that the lines that are around it from the screenshot will not be shown. So once I have that in place, I am satisfied with it here. I was off camera a bit uploading the elements from my new Mercies kit that I think I might want to use on this page. I will go ahead and show you how to do one of them. So what I do is I drag up from the bottom until I see my files folder, and then I drag that across, and here you see all of the elements from the kit. And I am doing the journal card. I hold down on it and then drag it over, and then I release the selection by hitting the brush tool, and now you can see all of the elements that I've uploaded. I've hidden them for the moment. Now I'm scrolling down to the bottom, and I'm going to hide the layer with the Bible journaling page, and I'm going to make a layer and then put it under where that Bible journaling page layer is, and I am going to begin making a color palette for the background. So I've taken one of the elements that has all of the colors from the kit, and I am going to create a new palette by sampling the colors from this element and adding them to this palette, so that I have the exact colors that I used from these elements to make the background from the page. Here you see my page mid-progress. I created a background, revealed some of the elements and moved them around how I liked it. Then I decided I did not like that background. So I am going to delete those layers of the paint from the background and what I inserted to create the background. I am saving one of the texture layers because I think I like that. And so now I am going to create a new background. If you see layer 1, that's the Bible journaling layer. I have that set to multiply. That allows the words to show through, but kind of erases the white background so that everything from the background that I create will show through. So I am going to go ahead and grab from the artistic set of the native Procreate brushes. I'm going to grab a brush to paint over here. I'm going to make it a lot more subtle than the background that I had before. I thought that that was just going to be too distracting, the various marks that I had. So you can see me go ahead and add some paint here for the background. Now I am revealing the texture layer that I kept and also revealing the page of the Bible journal, and I decide that I like it how it is right now. So I'm keeping that. Now I'm going to reveal more of the elements here, and I'm going to be moving around the layers and adjusting the size of some of the elements. A good rule of thumb when you're working with a pixel-based program or app is that you can always make an element smaller, but if you try to make it much bigger than what it is on the page originally, then it could become very pixelated and fuzzy. So you can always make it smaller, but don't try to make it too much bigger than what it is. Now I'm going to create a little cluster at the top for the scripture reference. You'll see that I choose a butterfly stamp, but I decide that I don't like that as much, so I switch it for the bird and music stamp instead. So check that out here. Here you see me moving the bird element around, resizing it a little bit more, and also flipping it horizontally. I am looking at the page now, deciding if I think it's finished or if I want to do anything else with it. I decide that I am going to add in another texture, so I go to my texture overlays that I have created and add one of those in, and then I work with the different blending modes until I decide which one I like. I have expanded the texture a little bit so that it will cover the whole page. I know that because it was created at 12 by 12, which is bigger than the 11 by 8.5 canvas, that there will not be any sort of pixelation or fuzziness on it. So I am going through the different blend modes to decide which one I like, and you will see me end up settling on color burn. I'm liking how this is looking. I did expand the width of that texture overlay a bit off camera. I do decide to add in another element, which is the yellow butterfly stamp. So you can watch me do that here. then I move that stitching element above the butterfly here. Okay, I'm looking at the page again, and I think that I really like it how it is. So I am now ready to add the shadows to the elements to make them look more realistic, like they are actually pieces of paper on a Bible journal. So you will see me begin to do that here. What I do is first I make my color black, and then I'm going to go to the bottommost layer and begin with, and I will go to that layer. I will tap it and then hit select, and then I will add a new layer. I will move that layer below that element, and I will fill that layer with the black. And then this is going to be the shadow for that piece. I'm going to zoom in, and I am going to hit Gaussian blur. I'll usually go between 1 and 3% for a piece of paper to blur it to make the shadow. And once I think I like that, then I'm going to move it just slightly away to make it the shadow appear a little bit more. And then I will usually go to that shadow layer and I will reduce the opacity to about 60 to 70%. Usually about 65 is what I usually land on. So I do that with every layer that I have used. I will do the same thing with making a shadow. So here I'm doing the string stitch layer, and I do the same thing. Elements that would not be paper, but like this would be thread. Oh, I didn't select that. That's why that whole area filled with black. So I'm undoing, and now I need to select, delete that, select the stitch, and then I will go ahead and add the layer, move it down, fill the layer with the black, and then I can make the shadow. And as I was saying, with things like stitching that are not paper, then I adjust the shadow just a little bit different. I might increase the blur a little bit more or a little bit less, depending on what the element is. And you can see just slightly, just a slight shadow as I move it. And sometimes as I'm going around, the shadow doesn't quite move exactly how I like it, so I just keep playing with it until it adjusts the way that I want it. I apologize for the times that my camera focuses on my hand and then ends up making the project itself blurry. I will know for my next video to make sure that I adjust that so that that doesn't happen again. Now you're going to be seeing me work on the shadow for this tag here, and I will do the rest of the shadows off camera, and I will come back for showing you how I get this Bible page into my scripture journal in Goodnotes. Off camera, I did some journaling on this journal card. I just used one of the inking brushes. Technical pen is my favorite for writing. So I'm zooming in on different parts of the page so you can see those a little bit closer, and then we will talk about how I get this into Goodnotes. So I go to the wrench icon to share, then to PDF, and then best. It's exporting it, and then I choose open in Goodnotes, and then Goodnotes opens, and it's right at the page that I had it for the screenshot. So I click import to current document, and after is selected so that it goes after the regular page, and you can see that regular page, journaled page. And then what I like to do at this point is I bookmark it so that when I go to my favorites, all of the pages that I have art journaled are shown there, so I know where all of those are. Thanks so much for watching.